Alright, just another short video on what we're doing on the Saturday morning lessons. So a bit of a preview on my class notes. Alright, we are continuing with Jude and have moved into practicing GN as well. So Jude and GN. Right, with the Jude, the main thing is to start dropping down into a low Zenkutsu arch. Now just let's recap that. From the start, try to get the timing. The feet, or the first foot coming in, hands extend, second foot comes in, hands come together. We start to drop the body height as we block. Vision change. This just comes off the hip a little bit. Make sure the back leg locks in when you do that. Parry down, hito. Then an attack comes in here, so we quickly block and strike. Block and strike. Block and strike. Now with the taishos, it's not much good if the strike is here. Here. There's nothing backing it up. It's got to have credibility. It's a bit like the Yama ukes. It's a bit like Teisho, and in GN, the Shurouchis. They've got to work. They've got to have a little bit of oomph behind them. So from here, when we come up, we parry and then push that in. So the triceps are behind it, driving it in. Now as I go through, if I slowed it down, I almost come to the middle, front facing, and then rotate that here to strike. So many people just go through the motions here of here. Okay, now let's go to GN. It's the same thing. We've got to have a credible shutouchi. It's a two-down strike. So from the garambarai here, I cycle through to here, and it comes straight off the hip here, one, and then two. Now something I've noticed, and I've made it known, when we do the shutouchi, if we have the hand here, or here even, there's nothing backing it up. It feels weak, and I want you to experiment with that. Do it where you don't worry too much about the angle of the hand in relationship to the wrist. Then try it where you surge through, one, and you pull that down here when you strike, here. And you'll feel that the triceps are now working, and it becomes quite a substantial strike. All right, going back to Jude, we've done the first half. Let's do that again. I'll start a bit further back this time. Okay, that's cold. I haven't done any warm-up, and that's how we were recommending you practice your favourite kata, cold. Because that's how, if you're ever going to use it, it will be. You won't have time to do a warm-up. Okay, now, let's see what other parts were there. Okay, we've gone down. It's Taisho here. Okay, so vision change. Then Jodan Jujuyuke in Kosa Arch. Notice the heels lifted. Then as I place the heel down, Marote Garamrai. In, half a little step to generate that. Yama Uke. Now as we do the Yama Uke here, see, I raise the knee and then put the emphasis on the forearms. Step up. Now, you extend the hand arm and then drop down to Zen coins. Invert the hands, circle, invert the hands, circle, then really push that in. Here, strongly. 4 other things. All right. Now, doing that coming towards the camera, if I've done the last Yama Uke here, step up, extend, follow through, invert, rotate, now we've talked about the Kosa Uke and Manji Uke of being other than what they're described as. What I mean by that is, with Manji Uke, here, one. Okay, it could be Garamrai, Uda Uke. But I tend to disallow the idea that an attack's coming from my rear while I'm defending from the front. You'd have to be a mind reader to pull that one off. I believe this one is just ready, and you're using that ripping sensation for hikite, and it's ready to strike. But rather than use this one for garambarai, what I'm doing is I'm using it to, it's like a zuki uke. The attack's coming in chudan and I deflect it here, one, or even a bit higher, to strike the guy or the person in the pit of the stomach. Okay, now it's the same when we do Jien. We don't want big wide blocks here. Okay, so if you can imagine, the opponent is coming in with a chudan oizuki, right? Chudan oizuki. So from here, I cope with it by dropping and doing the uchuke here, and this one is driven into his stomach again, or body here. So it becomes uchuke and strike here. Or it could be the other way around. You're blocking a attack on his left, and this one hits him here in the face, strike, as a uchuke or urozuki. Okay, so they don't necessarily have to be kosuke, both blocking. One can be the actual uchite, the attacking hand or arm. Now, it's the same, really, when you think about it, in Heian Sanda. When we block here and we step up here, you could say we're blocking a Gaidan and a Chudan attack, but could also just simply be from here. It comes in, you're blocking uchuke, and this hand strikes it. Okay? Or it could be on the other side. It doesn't have to be both. Let's look at Jien. Now, the only difference is, of course, with Jutei, it's here. With Jien, it's here. And then now the start's important, like war kata. Imagine you're under attack. With uchuke, you block it and strike him in the midriff with the get-up. This is the uchite here. Then from the left and right, you block, strike. You've got to really rip those out. Gather, rip. Yeah. Then from here, rotate the hips or twist the hips strongly. Drop your weight as you strike. Here, drop, down right, and then straight from here, strike. Good. Okay. Now, the second half, from here, turn, block. My head, and block. Repeat. Now it's this next turn. If you're not careful, you'll rotate. You won't land strongly. In fact, it could even lose your balance. So you need to practice. Now what I do, I practice actually on the makiwara. I use it as a punch rather than tetsui, just for practice of balance and power ratio. So what I do is from here is I'm going to turn and then push it. I'm going to turn and then punch it in. And then the second one, punch it in, punch it in. Okay? So, if I was coming towards the camera, here, so I gather my power, then push it out. See, it's all very well being smooth here. But again, it's got to have some credibility. So you're turning away from an attack and then really driving in a strong hammer fist or punch. So from here, it doesn't matter if you hesitate, and then in, and then round in again. Okay, so they're important that they've got a bit of muscle behind them. All right. Now, again, coming towards the camera, towards the end of the kata, angle off, kage suke here, two punches here, a kick, punch, double block. Okay, nothing special about that. But what we want to do now is, when I come around here, it's lock, strike. Not too wide, but now I've flexed here and my thighs are pointed in. Okay? So, once again as I turn, it's lock. You've got to really force that out. One, and then two. Use your stomach muscles. Yeah! Strike. Finish. So, Jien is very similar to Jutei, well, Jion as well, but where you've got the Taj goals, and in Jien you've got the Shutouchis. And they've both got to be powerful strides, not just lip service. Okay? Now, just one little thing that I've talked about in my class notes a lot, and that is practicing Heian Yongdan and Nidan, but Yongdan from a wider Yoi position, or Fuda-dachi. So, when I start, normally it would probably be about here, so that I'd be required to take a little step up, block. Okay, but what I'm trying to do, I'm not saying that we're going to do it all the time, but it's practicing one way to achieve a result, if you like. So now, I'm coming wider, so that now all I have to do is twist, block, block. Okay? And as I just turn here into kokuits, the two arms rip the other way. And that block has got to be credible too. It's not just up here. It's got to be able to do the job. Jodan coming in, hit it, displace it. Okay, now, we can do the same with Nidan. You know, just stand a little bit wider so that I can just now come in. Right? So that I'm having to step down. Nothing wrong with that, but this is just making me more aggressive, faster. Okay. Now, the other thing we've been practicing is Kihon Yon Dosa, but in Kihon Ido. Now, I think this has got tremendous potential to help us with our regular Kihon Yon Dosa. Because Kihon Yon Dosa is a relatively long exercise, 5 blocks, 4 steps each. So you can start to falter a little bit towards Uchuke and Shitoke. So it's quite a good idea to cut it down. Now what I mean by that is this exercise, Kihon Yon Dosa, then Kihon Ido, starts with a Zenkotsu-dachi, Geran-barai, Kamaite. Then I go through Geran-barai Gyakuzuki, Aguke, Soruke, Uchuke, Shuto. Hey! Then I go back. So Kihon Yon Dosa, Kihon Ido style, starts with Zenkotsu-dachi, Geran-barai, Kamaite. In other words, that's the starting position. And then I commence with the blocks in order, Geran-barai, Aguke, Soruke, Uchuke, Shitoke, and then I retreat doing the same. So it's one tiny little exercise. Starts, forward, back, finish. Okay, let's say that's just a demonstration. I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing rather than just doing it, but I'm sure you get the idea. Now, the next thing is trying to get an improved approach to Shutoke. shudoke, knife and block. Now, we're trying to increase our speed of delivery, but again, credibility. If you think your shudouke is pretty good, put it to the test. Try it with a partner attacking you and just see how you stand, especially if the attack's pretty firm. So, if I'm going to cut to the left here, a little hip twitch to the right, block. Right, block. Okay, that's fair enough. But it's only when we start stepping that we strike a few problems. And what I mean by that is, now, what I'm trying to overcome is people performing it or executing it like so. Say, it's in Heian Shodan or Heian Nina. First one, well, it's used, let's look at it again. It's you're stepping, 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 and your arms are doing something totally divorced from that. So I want them to be connected. And what I mean by that is, when you go down, it's here that's driving here. So here, 1. And then as you go through in here, 2, 3, 4. You've got to be driving it with this. And then as you come through here, you've got to almost gather it in so that you can now use that to block. Otherwise, it's here. So it's just a step. So, and I likened it to what we've been talking about with oizuki, to try and get it more powerful, if you like. And that is, see if I can come towards the camera. So I'm here, as opposed to just going through here, like so. What I've tried to do is, I try to get to the middle here, and then if anything, drop down a bit. So it's here. See, I'm sort of bobbed down, and then push from there. See, because I'm using the floor, I'm exaggerating, if you like. I'm not just going through here. See, I'm getting to about the middle, and then I'm compressing, then exploding forward. And if you can do the same with the shudoke, say you're here, you come through compress, block, in compress, block, okay, go down. So they're connected. Okay. Now I don't think there's anything else. I could rattle on about the Heians, how we've paired them, but I'm sure you're not finding difficulty with that. Other than, say you're doing the Heian Shodan, and the second half is Heian Nina. Okay, now do remember when let's do the second half. We go down here, it's drop, 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 round, walk, and drop. But keep the elbows in here. It's too easy to be doing this. See, it's getting away from you. Keep this in, connected. Okay. All right, that'll do for now. It's just a quick blaze before my class starts at 5:30. So, but don't hesitate to come back to me if something's not quite clear. Yeah, I don't mind explaining, because teaching, I find that's the greatest challenge, is to see someone doing something, good or bad, and then trying to critique it or correct it or offer advice how they can do it a bit better.